Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you. My name's Duncan Wood. If you just want to say your name and where you're calling from just before we start the call.
Hi, Duncan. It's Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. Good to have you on.
Thank you.
Reg.
Hi, Robert. Good to have you on from Belgium.
Reg, Northern Ireland, Duncan.
Hi, Reg. How are you?
On fire as ever.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi, is that Chisholm?
It's Chisholm. I'm still here.
Hi, good to have you on, Chisholm. Sorry, we had to rush that last call, but I've got a busy schedule. Anyway,
yeah, I understand.
Okay, good to have you on. Chisholm, you're from Nigeria, yes?
Thank you.
Good to have you on.
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria, yeah.
Fantastic, good to have you on.
Thank you.
Anybody else just want to announce their name and where they're calling from just before we start?
Hi, Duncan.
Who's that calling?
Sipiwe.
Hi, good to have you, Sipiwe. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you, Duncan?
Fantastic. Yes, doing great.
Great,
yes.
great.
Good to have you on, Sipiwe.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else just want to say their name, and we've got another minute to go before we start.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi, who's that? Is that Mel?
Nina from Somerset.
Oh, hi, Nina. You don't half sound like your sister.
I know, we look alike too.
Good to have you on.
Thanks.
Hello, Bruce from Manchester.
Hi, Bruce. How are you, mate?
Wonderful.
Good. Fantastic.
Hey, Duncan, just got my hotel. So.
Hi, John. How are you?
All right, mate. Yeah, good, yeah.
So where are you calling from now?
Aberdeen and the Holiday Inn Express.
Okay. Good to have you on, John.
Yeah, Andrew, mate. I'll put myself back on mute.
Okay, no problem. Anybody else just want to announce their name and where you're calling from? We'll start in about 10 seconds. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm just going to put everybody on mute and then I shall start the presentation. And if you have any questions, just so you know, you have got a mute button on the bottom of your left-hand side of the screen, and you have got a camera if you want to turn your camera on or off. I'm just going to switch mine off for a second. And I'm going to mute everybody, and you can unmute yourselves later. Let me just put it on record. Let me just make sure everybody's on mute. 1 second. Okay, let me just share my screen. 1 second, I need to escape here. Okay. If somebody could just unmute themselves in a second and just tell me whether you can see these slides clearly.
Yeah, I can see that okay.
Is that clear? Okay, let me just move that out of the way. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. If I've confused anybody, we've changed, or I've changed the day I will do the presentation at 8 o'clock. Okay. I can hear myself in the background. Somebody got themselves recording this or something. Okay. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Duncan Wood, calling you from North Wales in the UK. I'd like to welcome you to Impact 101. Just to give you a brief background about myself, I started off my business life in Maggie Thatcher's time in the 80s. I was a builder. I used to run a construction company. The one time I needed help from my bank, I used to have a good relationship with my bank manager, but they took your manager away and gave you somebody in an office you'd never even met. And the one time I needed help was the time when a company went bust on me, owing me 450,000. And what did the bank do? Reduce my overdraft by 3/4. It meant I couldn't take on work. I couldn't pay the staff, caused major problems. Cut a long story short, 2 years later, I went bankrupt, lost everything, including my property portfolio, lost everything. I actually look back and think it was a good thing that happened, because that was the first time I came across multi-level marketing. Never heard of it, thought it was illegal, but had a great success with a couple of companies, had a few disasters as well. But that led me from multi-level marketing to making a full-time living online. And I've had fantastic successes, but I've also had plenty of failures. Unfortunately, last year, 2018, was the worst year I've had for a long, long time. In fact, it was the worst year I've had since I went bankrupt many years ago. And cut a long story short, I got into, started going into debt again, which I'd got out of totally. And it got to a point where I was actually asking my wife, how long have we got? And that is quite serious. So I was looking for something, didn't know what. A very good friend of mine, John Van Derzen, it's Canadian, sent me a video. I did watch it. It was about another company that was running a very similar system to this. And if I tell you, 7 days later, he sent me a message. I watched the video, but didn't do anything about it. But he sent me a message telling me he had received 56,000 in 16 days. Well, I don't know about you. I had to phone him. I wanted to know how. How on earth could somebody receive that kind of amount in his bank in that shorter period? Cut a long story short, I decided to get going that night. I started off with $250 with this other company. And if I tell you 3 months later, that I had received in my bank over $40,000. This company, IMPACT1, came about because there was another gentleman, the owner of IMPACT1, who was also in that previous company. And that previous company had issues and problems, and support wasn't good, all sorts of reasons. He decided he was going to take the concept and do it properly and create one of the best and the biggest online crowdfunding platforms in the world. And that is basically how IMPACT101 started. So I'm here tonight to tell you about this company, where it's going, how you can take advantage of this, and how you can turn your why into reality. So why is that doing that? 1 second, okay. Okay, so let me explain first of all crowdfunding, because the first person I told a friend of mine about this system, and he said to me it was illegal. I nearly believed him. I knew he was wrong, but I needed to check. So I phoned up a friend of mine who's a solicitor and asked him a question. I said, I think I know the answer, but could you tell me what you know about crowdfunding? The first thing he said to me is, what type of crowdfunding is it? And as you can see from this slide, there's various types. Some types of crowdfunding are regulated, some don't need to be. Loan-based, investment-based are regulated, and there's various other types that are regulated as well. But peer-to-peer, which is a person-to-person, a donation sent from one person to another, does not need to be regulated and is totally legal in every country in the world. Now you go and check out for yourself, but you can go to various websites, you've got the internet, but crowdfunding is a process, it's a system that's been going for thousands of years. It's what people used to do before they had banks. People used to get together, work together for the same cause. As an example, if somebody wanted a house, they would all work together as a community and help that person build a house, and then they would all do the same thing for somebody else. That form of crowdfunding has been lost, but because of the internet, crowdfunding is now coming of age. So is it legal? Totally legal in the world. So why is crowdfunding growing so fast? Well, it's because of this reason. One of the reasons is the banking system is failing people. We all remember the 2006, 2008 crash. Many people thought that would be the last crash. I can honestly tell you, if you look around and open your eyes as to what's going on, if you think that's the last crash, the next one's going to be even bigger, and it's not far away. So the bank is failing people and businesses. This last crash was based on securitization of properties, and it was doomed to fail, and it did. And it caused, and we're still feeling the consequences now. So the banks created the problem. There is a massive problem in the financial system. You've only got to see what's going on worldwide, whereas banks one time used to lend money based on a gold standard. You know, the bank would own a certain amount of gold and loan money against the value of that gold. That has disappeared. And now banks just basically are ruining the whole system. Basically, banks don't even have money to lend. They just create money out of thin air. And what's basically happening is the money in your pocket is becoming less and less valuable because they're just creating more and more of it. So imagine if you didn't have, or the world didn't have debt. There is a solution, and that solution is crowdfunding. And there are lots of companies doing this. Just as I said, do your own research. These are some of the main companies that you'll find on the internet. I'd heard of a lot of them. A lot of them I didn't realize what they did. I thought GoFundMe and Indiegogo were loan companies. They're actually crowdfunding platforms. And it is a massive, massive growing market. Now, GoFundMe are actually currently the #1 platform to raise funds through. But I can tell you now that IMPACT101 and the owner of IMPACT1 intend this company to take the place of GoFundMe. They want to be the #1 system of choice of crowdfunding in the world. I can honestly tell you, with the technology that they've got coming and taking advantage of, I've got no doubt they're going to do it. So let's have a look at size. Well, crowdfunding, if you go to a site called Fundly, in 2017, $34 billion was donated through platforms through crowdfunding. And that's projected to grow by 2025 to 300 billion. Billion. How much of this market would you like? Just think about it. So how fast is it growing? Well, just look at any industry that you might be involved with right now. This industry, crowdfunding, has been growing at 136% year on year and has been for the last 4 years. Now, most people aren't even aware of that. Why is that happening? Well, a few reasons. One, the banking system is failing people. Two is the internet, and 3 is social media and globalization. So it's affecting a lot of people, businesses and traditional businesses. So crowdfunding now is becoming more and more popular. So you've only got to look at the largest payment provider in the world, PayPal, now offer on their own platform exactly the same system, peer-to-peer crowdfunding. They allow anybody to use their system to generate revenue for whatever reason or wherever you are in the world. Now, for any company as large as PayPal, that's practically in every country in the world, to integrate a system, a new system like crowdfunding into their existing system, that will have taken millions of dollars of research before they do that. And to actually integrate that into their system also costs, it's a major undertaking for any company. And now, because of social media platforms are now opening up to enable members to donate money for charitable and individuals. Facebook, we've all heard of Facebook. Now you can use Facebook, allows anybody in the world to donate to whatever cause you want. So you don't have to be a big company to get donations. You don't have to be a charity. That's what a lot of people think. There's a UK father who was broke, wanted to treat his family to a Christmas meal, didn't have any money, so decided to turn to crowdfunding and literally raised $2,000 literally in a matter of hours. So anybody can do this. All you need to be 18 years and above. You do need a phone and a computer, and as I said, you do need the internet. And as long as any country has got internet, you can use this system in any country in the world. So who's behind this company? This is the gentleman. I actually did, by chance, speak to this man before he launched IMPACT101. As I said, he was with the previous company. He was dissatisfied with what they were doing. I actually spoke to him by accident one day because I was sending him a donation. I was actually sending him a donation in Bitcoin, and I noticed he had something that really caught my attention. It was a system that he had to do with tracking a payment through Bitcoin. And I messaged him and I said, where did you get this from? It's amazing. And he replied back, do you like it? And that conversation led to us speaking to each other. And it turns out he had the idea of that system, and he had an IT company. And he told me about his partner, Hans, and he said Hans was actually the guy that puts the ideas into reality. And I said, Frank, that's incredible. Anybody involved in cryptocurrency will want that. And I didn't know, but a month later, he had gone away, decided he didn't want anything to do with the previous company, and decided he was going to set up his own company. And because he has massive involvement in IT and technology, he decided he was going to do it and do it right and do it properly and create the world's best crowdfunding system. And that's what he's going to do. So there's his experience. He's got 45 years success in business, 20 years in marketing and sales. He's had his own company, QRGL Limited, Incorporated, sorry, which specialized in marketing QR codes and mobile landing pages. And with Hans's partner, they launched in 2019, actually in January, IMPACT101. So here's his partner, Hans Luhmann. This is the tech guy, and he has a team of some of the top tech guys in the world. You can see his experience and his involvement with various global technology companies. Frank and Hans got together and decided to launch Impact 101 literally in January. So why this company? Well, imagine if you've got involved in any of these companies online here a few years ago. All these companies have now expanded in every country in the world. If you mention Google to anybody, everybody's heard about them if they don't use them. And if you think about it, these companies have grown to some of the biggest companies on the planet in a very short period of time compared with traditional industry or traditional companies. So imagine how wealthy you'd be. Imagine if you've got involved in Amazon or Microsoft, how wealthy you'd be today. Timing is important in any business, any industry, and the right time is now. Why? Because, as I said, crowdfunding is a booming industry. It's only going to get bigger and bigger, especially as the problems with the banks gets worse. And if you really do not think that the banking system is going to get worse, I think you need to wake up, to be honest. This system is right at the beginning. This company launched on the 17th of January. Just to give you some idea, it's just over, what is it now, 47 days old, I think. I might be incorrect on that, but literally when they were 44 days old a few days ago, they were in that time 112 countries and now in 115 countries. They have donated, well, this was quite a few days ago, over 1 million in donations currently. And I would imagine they were at 1.7 million views to their site. I would imagine that is easily probably at 2 million views now. So this is a fast growing, intense company. And believe you me, it's amazing what is happening and how fast this is growing. So let's have a look at how it all works. It's a single platform crowdfunding and marketing system. It allows you to receive half of everything that happens in your donation grids, and that can be for life. As long as you keep donating, you keep receiving, and you always keep receiving 3 times more than you're donating. So the only way that you would stop receiving is if you stop donating. Impact 101 is based on a 2x2 grid process or system. This is the most successful system that any company has used or developed. It's got a 2x2 follow me system. And if you know what I'm talking about by follow me, it basically means every person that you personally introduce follows you on through every grid on every level for life. Now, when you understand that, hopefully you'll have a light bulb moment. Hopefully you will wake up to realize how amazing this system is. It does take a little bit to get your head around, but believe you me, once you understand that, it is incredible. Impact 101 is a team crowdfunding system that provides not just help on your own, you're not just on your own, you get help from above and you get help from people below. And you can receive donations literally seconds after registering. It's a peer-to-peer team crowdfunding system. What does that actually mean? You're not reliant on any company to withdraw money or any money invested in a company where you're then reliant on hoping that company is going to carry on when you can eventually get your money out, if you ever get it out. This system, no money goes to the company. 100% of the donation is one person sending it directly to another person. There's no middle bank in between, there's no payment processor. So that's the main point that I saw in this system, is we are not reliant on any company. The only thing the company provides us with is a platform to allow us to generate whatever or however many donations we wish to receive, and however many amounts for however long we want to do it. So Impact 101 provides us with a easy to navigate, totally automated, free, feature-rich, dashboard that displays everything in real time. It is actually in real time and allows you to monitor your donations literally second by second. That is a picture of the step-by-step that you go through to set yourself up. Basically, first of all, you need to obviously make a decision, get the link from the person that introduced you. The first thing you do is you pay for your membership. That is the only money that ever goes to the company. And that membership is either $25 for 6 months or $40 for a year. Once you've paid your membership, you now need to choose your donation grids or grids. You can choose as many grids as you want from 1 to 8. You can have all 8 if you want. My advice is start at a level that you are comfortable with and that you can afford. And if you can't afford it, don't do it. But the good thing is, whatever amount you decide to start with, that is the only amount you will ever outlay. It is a completely self-funding system. You could start with, at the minimum, the $40 grid. So the minimum level would be the $40, which is a donation, and the $25 to the company. So you could start this system with as little as $65, and that will be the only amount you will ever be out of pocket. And believe you me, you can get in a positive cash flow situation within hours. So once you've donated, then you need to set up your payment methods. That's the methods that you wish to receive donations. And my advice there is literally pick as many methods or offer as many methods as you possibly can, because the more methods you offer, the easier it is for somebody to send a donation to you. At that point, you now donate to your inviter, the person that introduced you. Once they have confirmed they've received that donation, then you donate to the second person. After that, you're ready to go. And all you do from that point is share it with others, and you literally donate, share, and receive. Donate, share, and receive. And that is all we do. It's as simple as that. So these are the 8 grids. You can only ever have 1 grid open on any level at any one time. So you can have all 8. You can't jump, as an example, you couldn't jump up to the $150 grid or the $300. You have to have, everybody has to start at the $40. So you could have, let's say, as an example, the first 4 grids or 5 or all 8 if you really want. There are plenty of people that start with all 8. The good thing is, you can see the figure in grey. That is the amount you donate at each grid level to 2 people. And the figures in red are the amount you will receive once those positions, and there's only ever 6 positions on each grid. And remember, those positions can be filled from above, from you or people you've introduced. Either way, it's exactly the same result. You always receive 3 times what you've donated. So as an example, let's take the $40 grid level. You donate $40, you now will receive $120 in total. Okay, now once that grid is finished, it's ended, and you donate again at that level, and you receive again 3 times what you donated. You can do that as many times as you want, and that literally never stops. Obviously, the objective is to get all 8 grids open in one go, Imagine, because you do exactly the same on grid 8 as you do on grid 1, but you'd be receiving $2,400 per donation times 6 in that grid against 6 times $20 in the first grid. So ask yourself this question. Imagine receiving a few donations from the higher grids as well as lots of donations from the lower grids. And you can receive multiple donations from each grid in the same day. So you first thing you do, as I said, is you pay your subscription. It's a 6-month license at $25, or you can choose the $40, which is a year's license. You can pay by either credit card or MasterCard, through PayPal, or you can pay through your PayPal account if you have one. You can pay it with Bitcoin, Dashcoin. There is a token facility as well for somebody that struggles, maybe who doesn't have Bitcoin, doesn't have a credit card, as an example. This is where you input your methods that you want to receive donations with. My advice is try and open all of them. They are all free accounts to open. If you haven't got Bitcoin, ask the person that introduced you. There are simple methods these days. You can open up, as an example, a Wirex account. It's completely free. It's just like having an online bank account, and they actually give you a Bitcoin wallet. So you can now receive Bitcoin into your wallet, even if you don't understand at all what Bitcoin is. Try and get as many payment methods as you can set up, because it makes it so much easier for everybody. So these are the 3 simple steps. Basically, register first, become an active member. An active member is a person that has donated to 2 people. Once you've done that, you need to then, I would focus on finding 2 people minimum, because that makes you active. So imagine there's you find Sue and Bill, and you now help Bill find 2 people each. So Sue introduces Sally and Jack, and Bill introduces Tom and somebody else in that other position. Once you've done that, you will have received the amount for that grid in total. And just to run through that again, let's take the grid, the $40 grid as this example. There's you at the top. Let's say, as an example, you introduce Sue. Sue donates to 2 people, $20 to you, $20 to your sponsor. Now, as an example, let's say Bill comes in. Now, it could be you that introduced Bill, it could be your sponsor. It doesn't matter. Either way, Bill donates $20 to you because he dropped in your grid, and $20 to the person that introduced him, which could be your sponsor. Now, let's say Sue introduces Sally. Sally donates $20 to Sue and $20 to you. Now, Sue introduces a second person, let's say Jack. Jack donates $20 to Sue and $20 to you. And Bill, let's say, introduces Tom. It could be you that introduced Tom. It could be your sponsor. Either way, the grid fills left to right, top to bottom. And that is a question I asked. Can anybody position anybody? No, they can't. So nobody can fiddle this. Nobody can manipulate it. Nobody can get in the system if they don't donate first. So in this example now, let's say Dan comes in. Dan donates $20 to Bill and $20 to you. And at that point, you would have received back $120. And what you do to start that again, you donate $40 out of that $128 and $120, and you do it again and again and again. You do it as many times as you want, and at any point you can use your donations, what you've received, to upgrade, so you can have the 40, the 80 and the 150 grids open at the same time, and they're all running at exactly the same time. Okay, so there's all the 8 grids in total. As you can see, there's the level 1. There's the amounts that you donate or give. It's split half and half, so they're the amounts that you donate to 2 people, $20 in level 1, $40 in level 2, $75 in level 3, and so on. And there are always 6 positions in each level. It's exactly the same whether it's level 1 or level 8. The only difference is on level 8 you would now be receiving 6 times donations of $2,400 as an example in level 1 against 6 donations of $20. Imagine when you are receiving multiple donations from each grid. An amazing system. It works. They're the returns on each level. We do have a full resource suite. You do also get a mobile landing page. That mobile landing page, by the way, just so you know, companies are paying $250 a year subscription for that. Now you actually get that as part of the pack, and you also get a customized mobile landing page, which you can use for any business as well. So it doesn't matter what your background is or previous experiences, the Impact system is designed for success. It's a fully automated system that will help you fill your donation grids quickly. It does most of the work for you, most of the explaining for you. Using our system can create an endless stream of donations, literally for life, and it is willable. As a member, you have complete access to the entire system, which includes, as I said, a fully customized and personalized mobile landing page that you can send to people. It has everything they need to understand this system, so all you have to do is just send it out to people and let the tools do the work for you. You have your own personal website, just like this one, where people can get more information and join with you. A state-of-the-art back office which tracks all of your donation grids, your team, your donations in real time. Help and support from a team of leaders. We do these calls to help you to, all you've got to do is just get good at showing people a video and get good at inviting those people who watch that video to come on a call like this, and we do the work for you. So there's help and support with a team of leaders who will walk you through everything and will be there to back you up every step of the way. The Impact system is designed for success. It's designed to get you the results you've been looking for, some of you still looking for years. You might not realize it right now, but you have just stumbled across something that is totally different than anything you've ever experienced in the past. That's probably the reason why a lot of people are so skeptical, because we've all been burned. Now, what's happened is because something good has come along, that's the unfortunate problem, is people won't keep an open mind and look, because what they're doing is comparing it with stuff that they've experienced in the past. This is totally different to anything that you've ever seen in the past, believe you me. So it's working for many people, and it can work for you. So reach out to the person that invited you on this call. Share your Impact 101 mobile landing page with as many people as you can, so that they can see the two powerful videos that explain everything for you. My advice is keep it simple. Don't try and complicate it. Don't try and persuade anybody. Don't sell it to people. Just use the tools. Let that do the talking. Bring them on calls like this. We record these calls, so you can literally, you don't even have to come on this call if you can't make it at 8 o'clock at the night. You can literally just send a recording of exactly the same thing to allow people to watch this in their own time. They're just pictures of the back office, which is an exceptional back office. It really is. It tracks everything. You can see all your donations to confirm or your donations to be received. You can see your complete history of donations sent and what you've, in total, what you've received. Everything is tracked. There are videos explaining all aspects. This is one which actually explains the grid systems, and there's also a video there. And in your back office, you have videos on every aspect. Setting up your mobile landing page. You can advertise an existing business, whatever that business is, and that is part of the system. As I said, you've got $500 worth a year of two products there, your mobile landing page and your landing page for an existing business. So I'm going to finish the presentation there, and we're going to open up the call. So if you have got any questions, it is a questions and answers call. I'm going to stop sharing there. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. If anybody has got a question, if you want to unmute yourself, you can unmute yourself and fire away. But I'm just going to run through a few general questions that generally everybody asks. as an example, people say, is it legal? Well, hopefully I will have addressed that. You know, people do compare this with some systems they've seen in the past, but let's be realistic. Think about this. I mentioned, I know Chisholm is on the call, and he mentioned of some companies in Nigeria in the past that were literally scams, to be honest, Chisholm. That's what they were. They were set up as Ponzi systems. Now, you know, if somebody said to me, is this a Ponzi system? Well, first of all, I would ask them the question, do they even understand what a Ponzi system is? Because this is so far removed from a Ponzi system. First of all, in a Ponzi system, all the money goes to a company, and that company is dependent on people paying into that system to pay out the people at the other side. No money, literally no money, other than the $25 goes to the company. The donation is 100% paid from one person directly to another person's bank account. Not even the bank or the payment processor take a cut of that donation. And just while talking about that, that is the main difference between this and all the other crowdfunding systems out there, PayPal, Facebook, GoFundMe. How are they making money is the question to ask. Now, this is where you need to understand what's going on here, because all those companies make their money by taking a slice, a small slice of the donations, a percentage. So there's the difference between IMPACT101 and say GoFundMe as an example, because I know they take a slice of that donation. And the other key difference is this: if you set up a campaign on GoFundMe, you have to promote that on the internet. Now, if you're inexperienced, like a lot of people are promoting a website, you know, I've had a website, and I can tell you one thing: designing a website, it might look fantastic. It might look like the best website you've seen in the world. But if you think that's going to get people to see that website and drive traffic to it, think again. That is just the beginning. And it's exactly the same if you set up a campaign on GoFundMe. You've now got to promote that. If you don't promote it, nobody's going to see it. Now, here's a system. The difference is you can receive, I know a lady that in Australia that used GoFundMe. It took her 2 years to raise $2,000. 2 years. She was in the same system and literally within a month achieved what she would took her 2 years to achieve in GoFundMe. So there's the difference. Do your own research. Anybody, before I go on any further, got any questions, you're quite welcome to open up your mic. Anybody? I know there's a couple of people in the chat. Let me just check. Let me just read out a few questions here. 1 second. Somebody said, I'd never thought I could accept Bitcoin unless I already had it. No, you can. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, and that's why I mentioned it, because a lot of people get confused with Bitcoin. If you are a person that doesn't understand Bitcoin, is totally confused about it, don't worry about it. You can actually open up a free, as an example, it's not in every country, but in the UK, there's a company called Wirex. Let me just put everybody on mute 1 second, because somebody is making noise in the background. 1 second. You can open up a Wirex account, and that is literally like having a bank account. You can transfer sterling or any currency into that account, but you also are given a Bitcoin wallet account. So you will be given a wallet address, no different from having a bank account number, and you can instantly receive Bitcoin. Now, here's the key. A lot of people will be thinking, yeah, but what do I do with that Bitcoin? You can literally convert it into any currency without any transaction cost internally. So if you had donations sent to you in Bitcoin and you didn't want that Bitcoin, you can literally convert it, as an example, in the UK to sterling, and you will also get a Visa or a MasterCard with that account. So you can literally spend that money anywhere in the world and also draw it out in cash in a cash machine. Anybody want to unmute themselves, ask any questions? It is a questions and answers call, so if you want to unmute yourselves, just click your microphone. No.
Hi, Duncan. It's Mel.
Hi, Mel.
I do get a question quite often. People say that when you actually open a new grid, do you have to have 2 new people to activate that grid?
No, you don't. Let me explain how that works. The system will allow you to receive donations without recruiting anybody initially. So let me give you an example. You could actually have somebody, and there are people that have this, where they've received 6 donations without recruiting anybody themselves. But you can only ever do that one time. At that point, if you want to receive again on that grid, you do have to introduce 2 people. Okay. Now, the answer to your question, Mel, and this is where a lot of people get confused, it could be the same 2 people that start on the $40 grid, move up to the $80 grid, and so do you, and then move up to the next level. Now, if those are the same people that you have worked with and they're introducing other people, the same 2 people could be the same 2 people that follow you from the 40, 80, 150, and so on. So in theory, yes, you could have 2 people minimum. Now, my advice is don't stop with 2 people. I'll tell you why. What happens if somebody is ill? What happens if somebody happened to unfortunately die? Or what happens if somebody decides, one of those 2 decides to stop for whatever reason? Then you're dependent on that person. My advice is go and introduce more than 2. But the answer to your question is, Mel, yes, it could be the same 2 that follow you on every level through every grid. And that would qualify you in every grid for life. I'm just going to answer a few more questions here. I had a member ask me about payment methods from Zimbabwe, Africa, since PayPal. Okay. Well, what I would advise is get onto the update, the company update tomorrow night. It's 9 o'clock UK time. I know there is another payment system coming out. I'm not sure who it is, but I can tell you I'm sure Frank is going to announce that tomorrow night. So I would be on that call. I know I spoke to Frank literally yesterday, and that is one of the main things that they're focusing on, not only the translation of the sites, but also other payment methods that are available, especially for some of the countries like Zimbabwe and some of the African companies. So yeah, there is something going to be announced. Somebody's just asking here, what will happen after I joined all grids and received my donations? What will happen after that? What will happen after I joined all grids and received my donations? Okay, basically all that happens is as soon as a grid is finished, you donate at that grid level, at whatever grid level that is, again, and that starts a new system. And it's automatic. So I'll give you an example. The very first time that a light bulb moment went on with regards to the Follow Me system was when I introduced Colin Simmons. Now, Colin joined at 3 o'clock one day. By 8 o'clock at night, he'd filled a grid. And I saw an email come to me saying that Colin Simmons was about to donate to me again. I'd already received one email when he joined. And I immediately thought he'd joined again. I actually called him and said, Colin, what are you doing? It looks like you've joined again. And he said, I couldn't have done, I'm out. So he said, sorry about that. I thought I'd turned all my phones off. He said to me, it must be automatic. And that's when I realized it is. It's completely automatic. So the system automatically puts that person that you introduced back into the grid, the next grid that you start automatically, and that person donates back to you again. So there's the Follow Me. So imagine this. Imagine as an example, if you had 10 people that you'd introduced, and all those 10 people are about to follow you into the new grid that you've just opened on every level. It would literally just fill your grid. So you don't need to keep recruiting. You do need to initially. So my advice is massive action when you first start, and then you can pull back and work with the existing people, and then just keep looking for, listen, all you do is ask people a question. My advice is just ask people this question. Do you need or want more money right now? And if they say yes, then say, do you know at least 2 other people that need or want more money right now? And if they say yes, then send them a video. And then the most important thing is follow them up, call them up and find out, did they watch that video and do they want to know more? That's it. Let me just answer, can we get a downline version of the video to send to prospects? Well, when you say a downline version, a downloaded, version of the video to send to prospects, you have that video on your dashboard. All the videos are in your back office, and every company call is recorded and uploaded to your back office. So if you go to the video section in your back office, you can see every video that was ever recorded. This video, as soon as I've finished, will be uploaded onto YouTube. I'll post a copy in the Facebook group and in the chat room, so you can use those copies to show or give to your new people. Phil, hi Phil. How long does it take for donation payments to be verified? Phil, as soon as you get that donation, my advice is just all you have to do is only confirm it, obviously, if you've received the money. But it's literally a 2-second job. You just literally go in your back office, click a tab, refresh the page, bang, done. So it really depends. You've got to obviously understand that you could have received a donation or sent a donation to somebody, as an example, who is in bed while you're awake. So, you know, be realistic. If it's somebody in America and you're waiting for them to confirm a donation from you, you need to wait till they get up, at least, before you. But you've got an internal message system, so you can message that person internally. You don't need their email address. It's all done internally, and the company keep in contact with you internally. Just answering, how long does it take? Okay, you can also download, oh yeah, it's somebody else. What is the title of the Facebook page? Okay, there's various Facebook pages. In fact, there's more and more appearing every day. We have one in the UK called, what's it called? IMPACT101 Business Buddies. There's also IMPACT101 Crowdfunding. That's the company one. My advice is get on to them all, because everybody is helping everybody else. And somebody's actually just posted, thank you, Robert, posted the Facebook groups there in the chat. What do you do if a recipient doesn't verify or not respond to the email? Okay, if somebody doesn't donate to you, they will never receive. It's as simple as that. First of all, to go into the grid, they have to send the donation to the person that introduced them. Once that person has confirmed that donation, they then go into the grid. If that person who is expecting the donation doesn't confirm them, they won't ever go into the grid. Simple as that. So they won't ever receive. I've had, since I've been doing this system, one person who has not donated. Now, they will be removed out of the system and they will not be able to receive, unfortunately. I don't know why people do it. It's crazy. He will have paid the $25 or the $40 and then renegaded on his promise, basically. I mean, the good thing about this system is it cuts out what I call unethical and dishonest people, because you are agreeing to donate in a timely manner. And my advice is don't introduce somebody until they're ready with the funds available to join at whatever level they can afford to join at, in whatever level of grids. So I hope that answers your question. If my advice is message somebody, but be realistic, because as an example, I was waiting for a donation from somebody. I messaged them, asked them had they sent it. If they had sent it, could they tell me how they'd sent it in case there was some misunderstanding? And if they hadn't, was there a problem? And it turns out the person was in hospital having an operation. So be realistic. You know, things happen in people's lives. One lady had had an accident in a car, so she was in hospital. Another person, as I said, was having an operation. So just be realistic and be polite with people. Sometimes there's a good reason why somebody hasn't managed to confirm your donation. Anybody got any questions before I'm going to finish for the night? Now's your chance. If you haven't, I want to thank everybody for your support in coming on to this call. Just so you know, I'm now running every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Colin Simmons, who is now going to do 2 calls on a Thursday, one at 11 o'clock in the morning, and that is for anybody in America or anybody in any other country if it's a more convenient time for them. So he'll be doing 2 calls on a Thursday, every Thursday, 11 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock at night. So he's taking over my Thursday call. I will be doing this call every Tuesday and every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And just to remind you, there is a very important call tomorrow night, the company call, 9 p.m. UK time. So thanks, everybody. Yes, Reg. Hi, Reg.
I've got a quick question. Any chance of the presentation being translated into Filipino soon?
Well, Reg, they will always translate into that language when they see a little bit of growth in that country. So
Okay.
First thing is you have to introduce a few people in that country, and then you'll find that they will very quickly translate the video first. And when they see the numbers of that country growing, I mean, obviously the most important thing we are all waiting for is the main languages like Spanish, French. I'm not sure. We know Chinese is also on the top list. There's about 7 languages that are literally being translated, so that the whole site, every page, and believe you me, these are professional translators. This is not some, Google Translate doing this. This is professional translators translating everything and checking everything, spelling, grammar, everything. It is very important. Frank is a great detailed man. So it has to be right before he will launch it, but you will see 7 languages very soon in 7 different countries.
Well, the good news is this gentleman's bringing in 8 people straight away, so this is going to expand into the Philippines like there's no tomorrow.
Fantastic.
So I'm sure it will be added very, very soon.
Well, I'll tell you another country that's absolutely on fire is Nigeria, because I was on a call night before last with 20 people on that call. There's a gentleman on tonight, Sam, who introduced, I think it was 9 people on that call tonight from Nigeria. And they're just the people I know about. There's a lot of other people with people and contacts in Nigeria, Zimbabwe, every country you can imagine.
I'm one of them.
Yes, Reg, you are. Great. Okay, thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to open up the mics to say goodnight. So thanks very much. Have a good, what day is it today? Tuesday. And don't forget the call tomorrow night, the company call, 9 p.m. UK time. Thanks very much, everybody. And
God bless.
Thanks.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Duncan.
Duncan. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant.